Hey people, welcome to Tier 53, Ulthane Temple, blue team. It's prehistoric, pretty good name for a Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed. Powerful offense, disruption and support begins in melee combat with a basic synapse. Alongside here, Zeno is a plague champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, so decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. And rounding us off on his blue team, Mr. 187 as a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Awesome buffs, debuffs and control abilities. This is the Exodite's elite scheme. Red team then, couple of Lord Commissars. First up is Andreas Leonhardt. We also have Toby Boller. These guys are support and offense heroes that fight in melee combat. Begins with a refractor shield and can also shoot their own fellas in the head for buffs. Rounding us off then, Psychonaut as a force commander, very good at offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. This is the Legion of the Damned elite scheme. Shall we say recolored slightly? Just a bit. Just a little bit recolored over there. So who's on the west side against the Hive Tyrant? It is Andreas. Expect to see at least one heavy bolter, I would think, maybe alongside some Catatrons. Lord Commissar happy to get stuck in first of all. Hive Tyrant not tying up the guardsman, which I was going to say is a mistake, but looks like he's got the Lord Commissar out there pretty quickly. Can now march on through, start tying up. Triple guardsman for Andreas Leonhardt. Does not go for the Sentinel. You'll often see Sentinels used quite well against Tyranids, but not this time, I guess. Howling Banshees on the field for 187, pushing through against the Imperial Guard here, trying to find some tactical marines. There we go. And Guide is on the Banshees, a buff from the Farseer, giving him 30% extra damage and range. And they are putting it to good use here. Their power weapons slicing through the heavy armor of the Marines. Can they get a model? They cannot get a model. Now turning their attention to the Guardsmen, who cannot fight anything in melee combat really. And now the Sentinel. Can they get on the power here early? Zeno meanwhile with some CSM. Double CSM in fact. The second just hitting the field. Getting rid of the Lord Commissar. Might be able to assist the west side. Keep the Lord Commissar here pushed back a bit more. Looks like the power was decapped at the cost of some Hormagaunts who do get away. Warrior Brood up for Prehistoric here. Barbed Strangler would do wonderful things against triple guardsmen all blobbed up. Can also suppress the Lord Commissar himself, of course. There is the heavy weapon squad on the field with a heavy bolter to help control the Tyranids and keep that Hive Tyrant at bay. Can't suppress that big fella, but he will take huge amounts of damage if he gets close to the heavy bolter. Heretic's taking a lot of damage here. Dire Avengers do get the cap. Plague Champion's going to go down if he's not careful. Does retreat off. They did not node that contested power in the mid. Red team back out then. Psychonaut with a second tactical marine squad here. Can use double Kraken rounds to shoot down the CSM pretty nicely early on. Rangers, in fact double Rangers for 187 into Shuriken. That's a pretty quick out of the gates in tier 1 there. 187 Rangers now starting to get shots on. Heavy cover for the CSM. Don't have any worship support right now. The Plague Champion actually did go down, and here we see the Guardsman trying to get around the other side to negate the cover. Lord Commissar executing one of these Guardsmen to double their damage, and CSM dropping models here. Havoc's now moving up. Good little push by the red team. Meanwhile, kicking off on the west side, Warrior Brood getting through. They did not get their Barbed Strangler up, at least not yet. And here come some Space Marines to help out. Force Commander's going to try and tie things up, but gets crippled by the crippling poison. Hive Tyrant getting stuck into some Guardsmen here. Doesn't really need war gear early on, it seems like. Maybe the extended carapace to charge down the heavy bolter here. Looks like he's going to be seen off, and they might be able to get on the VP now. Red team over here. This is a reskin or remake, whatever you want to call it, of Argent Shelf, of course. Pretty popular 3v3 map, although a lot of players don't like this narrow west side. I don't mind it too much. There's always something in a map you got to deal with, I guess. Double Rangers and Havoc's pushing up now. We also have that Shuriken, of course. So does he get Assault Marines? Does get an Assault Squad up. Psychonaut. Gonna need to be careful though. Banshees will be there to counter initiate, as will the Farseer herself. She's getting a Doombringer. Blue team not going crazy. Looking for the bash. Happy to sit mid right now. Sniper scouts. Big chunks of damage off the CSM. Might be good to target those heretics as well. Level 2 Farseer now with Doombringer in hands. Scouts being forced to, wow, back off, almost dropping the entire squad there. Assault squad are going to be a big target for the Doom, you would think. Doom on the assault squad, guide on your Banshees and send them in to chop them up. Blue team now edging forward slowly. Need to bring these setup teams up though. Havocs are still back where they were. Rangers getting shots. Do we have Pathfinder gear? We do. What about the Tyranids? What are you up to? West side Brood Nest is up. Uncapped VP. Heavy Weapons Squad now in a garrison. Bad news for the Tyranids. Can struggle to deal with garrisons. The Barb Strangler is an anti-garrison weapon, but needs to be relatively close. Can also throw some spawn mines at it. Assault Squad jumping in and instantly retreating out. Did not look like the look of those Banshees. Lord Commissar getting in, tying up the Shuriken, but the Havoc's got him pinned down. Sentinel goes down. Just lost sight of it there, I think. Did Toby. Force Commander can't get in. Looking pretty solid in the middle here, the blue team. Might need a... in fact, he does have spotters. I was going to say might need spotters up, and here they are. Going to say might need some catechins as well for the disruption, but it's gone tier 2, has Bolla. Psychonaut, I think, would be good to try and get a Dreadnought up. Perhaps force one of those setup teams to get an anti-vehicle weapon and then play around that. Tyranids are in here. Heavy bolter at close range, though, decimating those Termagants, as you can see. Warrior Brood jumping around with that passive jump into combat. They have some nice disruption from these guys. Power melee weapons too. Heavy bolter continues to do its thing. Have Tyrant ripping through guards when they're all reinforcing off this bunker, of course. Did he cause tons and tons of requisition bleed? Not really. Andreas Leonhardt should be going tier 2 here. Tier 2 for all the other players right now. Look at this. Blue team pushing through enough to cap the VP here. Assault squad not really having the impact that was desired right now. Some Nurgle worship on the east side to facilitate a bash. We do have plasma guns starting to pop up for Toby here. Around 8 DPS per gun. They do get 3 in the squad, so that's 24 or so plasma DPS, which is quite a freaking lot. Especially when you got the Commissar fella in there doing some good DPS himself. And all those other las guns. The Sergeant Leader's not really good in combat. Like single digit DPS from that guy. Force Commander's trying to cap under fire here. Rangers taking pops. Shuriken as well at the edge of its range. And down he goes. Sloppy play from Psychonaut. Knew he was getting shot by Rangers. Lets himself go down. 487. 323 on the VP's 1-to-1 cap. Tier 2 for Andreas Leonhardt. We have a Chaos Dreadnought on the way. Manticore for Toby already has Stormtroopers up with Assault Kit. What do we have going on west side? It's red. That bunker with the heavy weapons squad inside. Tough nut to crack for Prehistoric. This is Andreas's Lord Commissar, has the power sword. Can maybe get in on the Warrior Brood with that. Do some damage, do some synapse backlash. Assault squad jump, it's staggered. Can sometimes be a good thing for the extra disruption. Can sometimes be a very, very bad thing as the other models stand around and wait for the staggered model to jump in. That's Doom on them, by the way, which is why they ran the hell off from the Doombringer. Plague Champion pushes forward. Double the Tunnel War CSM around him. And blue team seem to be repelling whatever the red team throw at them relatively well here. Relatively well. There's double Manticores on the field though, one from each Imperial Guard player and a Whirlwind for Psychonaut to try and break those lines up. I was going to suggest do it with an Assault Cannon Barrage, but goes for the Whirlwind, the cheaper option. Grenade hits one of this, two of the CSM. Using the Heretics very defensively here is Zeno, nothing wrong with that. That worship support. There's a Manticore strike, the first one. And it's almost entirely wasted. Double Mark of Zinch CSM on the way. Pack some serious anti-infantry ranged power. Doom on these poor little guardsmen as if they don't have enough trouble staying alive. Yeah, blue team playing this very well, being quite patient. Maybe a bit more aggression going after this power would be good, but then they wouldn't be able to stay in the field as they are. Bunker's still there. Zone throw on the field now though. Being sped up by that capillary tower. Artillery piece also provides some nice health regen aura going on. Hive Tyrant with no war gear yet. He's got his improved synapse. Might see the Venom Cannon to go chasing after the Manticore. Rangers continuing to do work against the assault squad who do have their sergeant. And look at this, the Force Commander with Teleporter and Thunderhammer. Talk about some disruption and breaking lines. The assault squad again jumping in a little bit isolated there. Lord Commissar comes in alongside, but doesn't have a weapon or anything. Or doesn't have a weapon upgrade, I should say. Getting shot to pieces by the Mark of Zinch CSM. They can do some serious damage to commanders, especially if they're low level. Might go down here to Lord Commissar. In fact, I think he will. Down he goes. Heretics got hit by one of the whirlwind missiles, but they survive. Some awesome disruption potential from this thing, but not the best accuracy. Need to spot for it too. The Warrior Brood with Adrenal Glands, which will provide some melee synapse to these Hormigauts, makes them really quite powerful. Lord Commissar happy to wait, maybe waiting for the Manticore rockets to be ready again and then push alongside it. Another Guardian weapon. Oh, it's a D-cannon here for 187. D-cannon up pretty damn early here. Toby Boller going tier 3 also. Lehman Russ maybe. Lehman Russes can do pretty well on the mid of this map. Might not want to bring them to the west side though. Manticore strike. You see there Prehistoric trying his best to stay in the field. He doesn't just want to mass retreat off every time he sees the Manticore, but in that instance might have been better, because if he just retreats every time, he's not going to win fights, is he? But that time took a hell of a lot of damage. No real way to protect himself other than just throwing himself into combat and then using the Manticore. Manticore becomes risky of friendly fire and stuff. 439, 323. Blue team again, not really pushing forward and capitalizing on their strength in the mid. Red team able to keep their power relatively well. Assault squad jumping in again, quite isolated, having to retreat out immediately. Dreadnoughts pushing forward, trying to tie things up in melee maybe. Yep. Hunter killer missile comes out of the whirlwind. Big chunk of damage there. Havocs, we might see these guys transition into the autocannon. Down goes the Force Commander. That massive claw of the Dreadnought taking it down does 73-ish heavy melee DPS with that thing, but loses the splash damage when it has that ranged weapon. Plague Champion barely gets out. Red team are pushing. Here comes some more guardsmen. Banshee's getting caught. Whirlwind pushing up now. Blue team reeling. Not pressing their advantage maybe when they could have. Meanwhile, west side is turning blue. Haven't seen this west side capped all that much. Manticore's making it hard for Prehistoric now. Does have a Venom Brood up. Can they get rid of this garrison? There's a Manticore strike right there. Stops the cat. Tyranids in retreat. Here comes some more red stuff to help out, including the whirlwind itself. Maybe it's worth to park this thing over here. Down goes the garrison. Farseer backing away. She's level 4 with the armor of the Assyrian. There's that time field. And also runes of reaping. Wow, lots of guardsmen dying here. And a singularity. Holy crap, nice combo there from 187. Nasty, nasty stuff. Trying to flank around a little bit are the Space Marines. So narrow on this path can get caught by some nasty things. The cannon's gonna back away, I think. Yep. Strangely spread out with its team there, but does get away. Nice little push through the path there from Psychonaut. Andreas Leonhardt, I don't think super happy about the Eldar players' shenanigans over there. Who's this down? It's the Force Commander still down in mid. Power's been relatively safe all round this game. Seen a few pushes against the east side from the Plague Champion player. Carnifex on the way for Prehistoric. Andreas Leonhardt goes tier 3 alongside the rest of the players now. Manticore. CSM in a bad place. Very bad place. Assault squad getting in now. Another Manticore strike. They gotta try and hunt those things down. Lord Commissar trying to revive with shield up. Does have the Emperor's Wrath, but now has no energy to use it. All being drained from the shield. 391, 323, 2-1 cap for the red team. West side is now red. We have a heavy weapons squad with that very useful refractor shield. Stops it being knocked over. Pretty damn good for a setup team. What is this? Banshee's bashing power. No one able to really push through all the way to the VP for a while in the middle here. Not since the end of tier 1, I think. The assault squad dropping a model. Those rangers continue to be a threat. And a very annoying threat. Assault squad jumping in. They are pissed off. Assault Terminators dropping in from Psychonaut. Heretics are there. That's Doom on the assault squad, and down they go. Psychonaut getting a little bit hasty with his assault squad there. They were kind of low when he jumped them in. Just very, very inspired by the assault Terminators, we'll say. They're able to push through. These guys are unique to the Force Commander. Well over 5,000 hit points, as you can see. Heavy melee damage, inspire on kill, all that good stuff. Carnifex is up then. Thornback is gone for. It's the melee upgrade for Carnifexes. Gives them huge amounts of hit points and allows them to spawn Rippers up to tie things up and that kind of thing. Kassakin on the field with grenade launchers. Great for stopping caps and generally being annoying. Bashing power now on this west side. And he's going to take the VP too, I think. Red team couldn't quite get through with a triple. Alongside the Assault Terminator push. We do have an Avatar on the field, as you saw there, from 187. Here he is. Looking pretty fancy with the Exodites Elite scheme. Chaos Predator on the way for Zeno. Marcozine CSM tearing through those guardsmen. Wow, did he finish him off there? Artillery spotters do get away. Dreadnought's level 3. Needs some repairs though. Heretics can repair, as can the Plague Champion himself. Not sure why. Don't know if there's any reference in the lore of Plague Champions repairing stuff. But hey, we'll roll with it. Sniper Scouts getting shots in. Assault Terminator is going to be at the front of the army. What do we have to counter them? We do have double Marcozine CSM, which will do a lot of damage. The Avatar, of course, can get into melee as well. The Eldar have access to Seer Council, but does he have the population to get them up? I think he does. He's going for a fire prism though. Shoot them from long range. Leman Russ taking pot shots at the Avatar. Avatar doesn't seem too bothered here, to be honest. Stone Guard veterans for Psychonaut. Here they are. Switching to Vengeance rounds to combat the Dreadnought, maybe. These guys can switch ammo types to combat all targets. Vengeance, good versus vehicles, and super heavy infantry such as the Avatar. And Terminators, of course. Kicking off mid, this could be an important engagement. Nobody backing off yet. Down goes the Leman Russ. Did not last long. Last cannon, I think, got a shot there, yep. Force Commander gets in though, starts tying things up. Time field. Farseer happy to engage the Assault Terminators for now, with Doom on them. Wow, there's a lot of damage going in on those Terminators. Manticore Strike breaking it up. Oh no, that was Emperor's Wrath, I think. And again, not a clear winner in the middle. Bit of a stalemate developing there. Even with Manticores not able to break through really super effectively. Red team reeling here if you look at the rosters. Tyranid on the west side looking pretty strong. Now has a Crushing Claw Hive Tyrant. Very scary weapon. 108 heavy melee DPS. Also have the Bioplasma. But he's switching to Warp Field. Good choice for this loadout since he doesn't have anything else that is using his energy. Brood Nest also. Here's the support from Psychonauts. But also some support from Zeno with a Mark of Khorne Predator tank. Needs to be careful. The damage of those Vengeance rounds from the Stone Guard can sneak up on your vehicles and do a bit more damage than you may expect since they semi-recently got buffed. Carnifex is getting deep in enemy territory and getting very close to an autocannon. Took tons of damage there. Also, Lehman Russ getting shots. Going to be the end of that Carnifex, I think. Assault Terminator is also on it. Here comes the cavalry, maybe, in the form of a bunch more Tyranids. Double Hormagaunts in play. Do we still have the Venom Brood, the Warrior Brood? We do not have the Warrior Brood anymore. Hive Tyrant goes down. Carnifex goes down. Not a good engagement for Prehistoric. Seemed like he just seemed compelled to follow in the Carnifex there. Try and save it maybe. But I think it was advised to follow it in there. Terminators backing away. Doom on them being very nasty. That was also Time Field doing its thing. I mean, I understand why he sent the Carnifex in, because once it was like halfway there, you might as well carry on. Otherwise, the tank is just going to chase it back and shoot it down. Psychonaut with a Predator tank on the way. Some more Kassakin for Bolla. Toby. What do we have for Prehistoric? Another Warrior Brood. Okay. Was not expecting that. Thought he'd save for another Carnifex. Kassakin getting a cap. 325, 192. Red team not out of this yet, because that was a big chunk of losses for Prehistoric. Still have an Avatar to deal with, of course. There's also this Predator tank getting repairs from the Plague Champion. Avatar happy to move in here. Give some breathing room for those Rangers to cap. Wailing Doom. A really good Wailing Doom. Takes out the garrison. Big chunk of damage to the tank as well, but that is a nasty rocket run. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Gets the Tyranids out there. This is a rough place for Tyranids to fight. This very narrow west side. They're getting wrecked by Manticores, and now the rocket run. Avatar taking out the Force Commander with a swing of his Wailing Doom sword thing. Land Raider Redeemer now for Red Team. It's a good time to get it going. Avatar needs to be careful, because those are plasma guns shooting at you. Lord Commissar taken out. Avatar survives, maybe. He's more plasma guns. I think he's going to be okay. Still over 1,000 hit points on that guy. 314, 192. Blue team needs to get control of this west side back. What can they do about it? Fire Prism on the way for 187. I'm sure he had one on the way before. Did he get taken down? Oh, there it is. Getting another one. Might be time to bring that Fire Prism over here. Help disrupt those caps and that kind of thing. Andreas's Kassakin have the grenade launchers, and it's double plasma guns for Toby. Blue team will take the west side. Can they hold it? Manticores and the Emperor's Wrath, although that guy's down, making it tough for blue team to hold this. Red team might get it straight back here with Kassakin able to cap pretty fast. Red team also making a run at the VP's natural VP of the blue team. Down goes the Chaos Dreadnought. Don't think he was paying attention to it there, Zeno. Scouts will try to cap, but that's a very nicely timed special by the Farseer. Big chunk of damage to the scouts. Don't drop a model though. To level 6 Farseer, protecting the VP. Blue team trying to retake over here. 311178. Tank went down, and there's the Land Raider. Acts as a mobile base of sorts for the Space Marines, allows everything to reinforce around it, retreat back to it, and also packs some firepower itself. Massively, massively useful in team games, since your allies can also use it as a retreat point. 297178. Farseer trying to get a model off those assault terminators, but couldn't quite manage it. Force Connor taking a fire prism shot to the face, but he gets right back up again. 2-1 cap for red. Land Raider Phobos on the way for Zeno. What's this? Leman Russ? It is a Vanquisher. Good versus the larger targets. All quiet on the west side. Our blue team going to triple mid now. Prehistoric needs to get something big and fat on the field, it feels like. Can't really stand up to these fights without something like that. Hive Tyrant being down and all. Saving for a Swarm Lord, seems like. Baneblade on the way for Andreas Leonhardt. 266, 178. Look at those Marcos Inc. CSM tearing through those Stone Guard veterans. Just deleted them there. Barely getting away. Fire Prism taking a shot on retreat as well. Almost got another model there. What level are those fellas? Level 3 and level 3. They are packing a punch right now. Kind of inefficient for them to fight a mass of guardsmen though, especially when they've got plasma guns. We do have a Terminator Force Commander, really? Seemed like he was doing relatively well teleporting in with that Thunderhammer, but maybe he felt like he needed to be more durable here. Plague Champion with his Plague Fist, Armor Pestilence and a Mucus Discharge. He is set up to cap and stay alive right now. Getting in on the Guardsman. Manticore sends the CSM pack in. Oh, Force Commander going after the Fire Prism and gets it with the help of a Leman Russ, I believe. 231178. Plague Champion can't quite get onto the VP there. Bashing Power though is the Tyranid army all the way on the other side. Red team sitting pretty over here. Really need to get on this natural. Swarm Lord hit in the field. Land Raider Phobos is in the mid. Has been spotted by Andreas. Baneblade hits the field as well. Where's he going to take it? Looks like it's going mid. Avatar's done really well for 187. Now fighting some assault terminators. Wailing Doom. You see Guide there put on the Avatar, buffing his already strong melee attacks to ludicrous levels. And there's Doom. Another one of those Wrath of Cains. Uh-oh. Baneblade might be able to chase this guy back here. Las Cannon's going to set up. Get at least one shot, you would think. Boom. There it is. And there's the Phobos. Getting some Nurgling worship. Oh, Time Field shutting down the Baneblade's guns. And an Eldritch. Beautifully set up by 187, but can they finish off this thing? Las Cannon's off the field now. Fire Prism needs to come up and start shooting, I think. Or is the Phobos going to be enough? Might be, with rear arm hits. Yeah, down it goes. Dealt with the Baneblade so quickly. We've seen that a few times in his replays now, recently. Baneblade's being dealt with relatively easily. Players need to be a lot more careful with them. They need a screen in front of those things, I feel like. A screen of units. Leman Russ now level 3. Land Raider is still a problem on the west side. And if blue team can't push through here, doesn't matter how many things they kill. Manticore strike on the Land Raider Phobos. Could have damaged those rockets too. It lives. Heretics trying to repair level 3. 149, 178. Executioner Leman Russ for Toby. Another Predator tank here for Psychonaut. Another Leman Russ for Andreas. What is this? It's a Singularity, I think. Yeah. Making sure these guys back the hell away. There's a bunker back there too. A bunch of Tyranids died. Force Commander with his assault cannon is going to have a look at the power, I think. There's that Swarm Lord. Awesome in melee combat. Also provides this speed synapse and a reinforcement synapse, which I think affects your allies. I think your allies can reinforce off the Swarm Lord, which is a bit weird. But hey. What's this fella up to? Just having a look, maybe? Can teleport away. Can also just straight up retreat. There we go. Can retreat back to the land radar. Doesn't really lose that much time. Heavy weapons squad for Toby. Looks like both teams kind of recognizing that they've got tough nuts to crack, and they kind of want more stuff on the field before they push again. Leman Russ poking its gun in now and then to take some shots. What do they have that can really push against this Phobos? They can just throw all their tanks at it, I guess. Try and get the Terminators on it, but they will be dirge casted, you would think. Blue team might be taking a run. Manticore strike though. Painful, painful stuff. Almost took out a las cannon. There's none shall fall, but down goes the Lord Commissar. And a nuke there from Zeno, kicking off in the mid all of a sudden here. 85 VPs left for the blue team. Swarm Lord now fighting some Assault Terminators, and Eldritch going off. Absolute mayhem. And an Orbital now. Hit some Tyranids. Don't think there's going to get much else, but those guys might wipe if they don't retreat. Nope, they survive. They survive. Land Raider Phobos is going absolutely ballistic here. Tanks dropping like flies. How do we leave it here? Toby with a depleted roster. Psychonauts, Assault Terminators live. Oh, yes they do. Here's the Force Commander who went down. Got confused with the portraits there. Red team still hold the west side. Prehistoric also lost a lot in that fight. Swarm Lord did go down. We've got some Chaos Terminators on the field now for Zeno. Zeno with a very strong looking army, as does Mr. 187. They have stayed very solid in this game. Leonhardt stayed pretty solid too, to be honest. Kassakin, double Leman Russes. Manticore level 3 has done really well. Lord Commissar level 5. And goes down pretty fast. Plague Champion, what level are you, buddy? Level 8 Plague Champion, going for the cap. Heals himself. And there's the Pestilent Strike. That will allow him to cap for sure. Gives it a 90% range damage resistance. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That will affect enemies though, so you got to be careful using it. You don't want to run into a melee squad and use that if your allied ranged units won't be able to get the damage on. Better to use in a big melee fight when your own melee units are in there. Look at these sneaky scouts. Actually getting the decap. Well done, Psychonaut. That kind of decapping can make a big difference in these kind of situations. Blue team now camping this VP. What can the red team do? Toby looks like he has access to a nuke, so that could be a factor. Rocket run doesn't really help against vehicles, but there's a lot of infantry here too. Need to get their VP back first before they even think about pushing. Assault Terminators will try to, but that is so much damage coming on those guys. Basilisk Flares shutting down their range. Some Manticores going off, but everything able to tank it. Here's a Venom Cannon Carnifex to fight all these vehicles here. Big damage as well. There's the rocket run. How did he do? Needs to be a bit further back, I think, to hit the infantry. Plague Champion getting stuck in. Assault Terminator is able to cap. Wow. Not for long, though. I think it's going to turn back blue again. Is it time for the Land Raider to come mid? I mean, it's such a big decision. If it comes mid, the support it provides might allow you to get this VP back and hold it, but then you lose the west side most likely. I have Tyrant chasing back these Terminators all the way into base. He knows he can't be suppressed. He knows he has his warp field up. Trying to get another model off these guys. Lord Commissar's also there with his Fist of Brockus. What's going on mid? Lots of worshipping. Lots of hanging out. Some repairs going on. Is that a las cannon over there? It is a las cannon set up. Tough nut to crack in the mid for the red team. Very, very tough. Plague Champion is doing a great job just holding up this VP here. Got Toby out there. Now retreats out. It's a hell of a long retreat for that Plague Champion. Especially with Armor of Pestilence trying to get back to the front line. More Manticores. More Manticores might be what's needed. They will rip apart the fire prisoners pretty well too. Trying to keep on with his repairs. Avatar could do with some healing, but I don't think he wants to march him back to base it. How do you cap with the singularity there? So hard. 38, 119. Blue team not even attempting to go to the west side. They're happy to hold on to this 2-to-1 cap as long as they can here. Las Cannon repositioned to ward off the tanks from this approach. Assault Terminators are still alive, and they are a pretty damn good capping tool. Force Commander still down though. Andreas Leonhardt with tons of resources, but can't really get anything else on the field with his pop cap the way it is. Another time field going down. So annoying to fight against. Manticore. Can't really do much. Level 4 CSM able to tank it out. Lord Commissar going for the cap with refractive field up. Has no support whatsoever though. Just desperation. Another Manticore strike going in. Look at this though from the red team. Going off the blue team's natural. Ballsy move. Him and Russ kind of getting stuck on the stairs here. Going to go down, I think. Yeah, Venom Cannon Carnifex is there to defend. And here comes the Hive Tyrant. Land Raider Redeemer pushing up. Level 5 Hive Tyrant doing big chunks of damage with the Crushing Claw. Lima Russ is going to go down. Yeah, that's another Carnifex there with another Venom Cannon. Land Raider backing the hell off now. Lord Commissar takes out a Warrior Brood guy. And then runs away. Could not get onto the VP. GG, says Andreas Leonhardt. 38 to 74 on the VPs. Here comes another Baneblade. That's a singularity though. Ouch. Plasma Cannon lives, maybe? Yes, I think he lives. Trying to get his VP back on the blue team. Anything else here to cap? Maybe these Chaos Terminators could come for try and cap. Termagants and Hormagaunts called in by without number, I believe, the tier 3 Tyranid Global. Here comes the Plague Champion, level 9, a great capper here. Dirge Caster, Manticore Strike, all kicking off. 38 to 74, 1-to-1. Assault Terminators might have finally bitten off more than they can chew. Yeah, down they go. Stone Guard veteran is just desperately trying to make something happen. It's some little Termagants trying to cap there. Blue team not capping when they could. Plague Champion distracted by killing stuff. Now it's a plasma cannon team trying to cap, but down they go to a Chaos Terminator power fist to the face. And now they're capping with the Reaper autocannon. Some Melter Stormtroopers. Big damage to super heavy infantry like Terminators there. Mucus Discharge Heal with the Breath of Nurgle, and there's the cap. 2-1. 38-71 on the VPs. Crazy, crazy game indeed. Just throwing out the Singularity to stop anything getting close. Is he going to pull these guys in though? Doesn't quite have the range. Baneblade. Baneblade is up. Going mid. We do have 3 Manticores on the field. If they can synchronize those Manticore hits, surely they'd be able to deal with the Land Raider hit. Time field on those Kasrkin. One final push maybe for the red team. Rocket Run setting it up. Baneblade is there. Stone Guard veterans are there. We need more though. 2-1 cap ticking down. There's a Manticore. There's an Orbital as well. But an Eldritch Storm coming in. 2 Baneblades, 2 Eldritch Storms on the Baneblades. It's a decent Orbital. There's the 1-1. Stone Guard veterans trying to cap, but they are being chopped up by a Farseer who is kicking some ass. She's level 10. Hive Tyrant as well. 3 very scary heroes over there. Level 10 Plague Champion. A level 6 Hive Tyrant. Down goes the Baneblade. Did not last very long again. 38-43. Blue team again getting a 2-1. Really not wanting to risk going for the west side, these guys. Go now, says Andreas. Not sure what his plan is here. Where are you at? You're on the west side. And you're going mid. Thought it was going for the blue team's natural or something. Plague Champion taking another Baneblade shot to the face. This is Toby's Baneblade this time. Hive Tyrant is on it. Manticore might be able to get rid of the Fire Prism. Couldn't quite get it with the last hit there. The Lara de Phobos is taking a lot of damage though. 38-13, 2-1 cap for blue. Can they see this out? I don't think. Yep, the Stone Guard. Are those Stone Guard? Yes, they are. They are capping. Down goes the 3rd Baneblade. That is a Nurgly nuke. Ouch. And another Rocket Run. Absolute mayhem. And that's the game. That is the game. 38 VPs remaining. Blue team finally get it after some fierce fighting. Red team did not give up, and blue team did not want to come for this VP over here. Really did not. Let's look at his heroes end of the game. A level 7 Hive Tyrant in the midst of it. In his own allied nuke, in fact. A level 10 Plague Champion down at the end. A level 10 Farseer still standing at the end. We had a level 8 Lord Commissar, the Terminator Force Commander, and a level 4 Lord Commissar. How you're only level 4 with all this death is quite perplexing, but there you go. Absolute craziness. The Baneblades again, not really doing the business here for the red team. Probably in every instance would have been better off going more Lehman Russes or more Kasrkin. But there you have it. Crazy game. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.